Welcome everyone to Mill Farm Sports Village for today's big Vanarama North clash against AFC Fylde, if you cannot quite tell behind me. Now, they are third in the league, we are top. They are only 2 points behind second with 2 games in hand and about 15 points behind ourselves. But how do we get to this game? After beating Ryan Reynolds' Red Dragons of Wrexham, we then returned to the league for the first of 2 games against a struggling Bradford Park Avenue side down in 21st. In this one, we in the end picked up a comfortable victory as a goal from Dyson and a late Beck brace made it 3-0. We then returned home for a trio of games, starting with 16th place Alfreton, where mainly our B team picked up the win, thanks to a Gilchrist goal. The first team then returned a second time against Bradford Park Avenue, in what sadly became Beck's last game. Beck, however, marked it off in style, getting a goal to then be followed up by Heaney and McLaughlin, respectively. The last game then saw us beat AFC Telford, thanks to a 1-0 win through the returning Rion Potts. Okay, so we're here in the notification screen and we have touched upon a little bit of this news. First of all is Beck. He's rejected a loan offer from us and thus has left the club. Now Beck, originally Harrogate accepted a loan for him. I offered that after the Wrexham game. Unfortunately though, Beck apparently just doesn't want to stay here. Can't really blame him, he's been playing amazing, he can probably play at a higher level, but it's a shame he wouldn't finish out the season with us. Then, just add to our strike problems, Jason Gilchrist picked up an injury, Kate Willoughby also picked up an injury, and then Rion Potts has also picked up an injury. So first of all, let's have a look at Gilchrist. Gilchrist is out for 5 to 8 days. He's currently got blisters, so not too bad, but a bit of a pain in terms of today's game. Then Willoughby, he's out for 7 weeks to 8. Yes, his injury is a little bit worse. He of course picked that up against Alfreton. He's been treated by the physios for a sprained knee ligament. We then have Lancaster, little bit of good news. He turned professional and thus has a contract to reflect that. I believe I'm giving him about another £100 per week. Rion Potts, he picked up blisters. He's been seen by the physio for 6 to 9 days. And then Woking, of all people, signed Woods. Yes, Woking, the team we play next in the FA Trophy, has decided to buy Woods from us and they paid £1,300. Now that is a bargain. He's worth more than that. I think he was worth about 5,000 or 6,000. But final year of his contract, £750 per week. Get him out the door, get our wage budget down, get a little bit of cash. I think we got about £200 odd of that. Can't remember exactly, but it is of course time to crack on with today's game. So let's head on into the dressing room. Okay everyone, so as you can see we're here in the team selection screen here in the dressing room, and with Beck's departure it does mean Gilchrist has recovered from those blisters and thus is able to play today. He is actually on a contract running out in 5 months time, so this is his opportunity to perhaps get himself a contract going forward. And the rest of the team, well, we've got Heaney on the left hand side, Donaldson in between him and Dyson, a central midfield of Wright and O'Keefe. At left back we've got Gibson, central defence is Newton and Fielding with Ducksworth on the right and Jameson in goal. A bench consisting of Whitsley returning from his loan spell of course at Scarborough. We then have Brown, McLaughlin. Now McLaughlin is a little bit tired as you can see over on the right hand side. Conditioning's down a little bit, but he'll be coming on around the 62nd minute if we do substitute him on, and thus he's fit enough to do that. De Gruchy is also on the bench and Knowles. As you can see, Potts is on his way back pretty damn soon. 4 days until he's fully recovered. Willoughby, of course, has a long-term injury. Crow, he's a little bit tired, so he's unfortunately not on the bench today. Josh King, he's a bit tired. I think he's probably played in the youth team at some point, and that's why he's tired, but that is our team for today. As you can see, we are going for a positive mentality, and anyone who wishes to borrow the tactics, well, they're there above my head, so feel free to copy them if you wish to use them going forward. This, I think, is rather OP as a tactic, so feel free to borrow it. Anyways, let's submit the team. Now I've said that, we'll probably get absolutely destroyed, but it's okay. Now, Whitley is wanted. Who by? Wimbledon. Okay, Wimbledon want... We might sell him. We might sell him. I might keep him. I kind of want to keep him to develop. I kind of want to sell him, though. If Wimbledon is going to come in and make a stupid offer, I'm sorry, Ryan, but you're going to have to go. So, we'll see how that goes going forward. Perhaps we'll keep him, perhaps we won't. Clayton Donaldson not liking the pressing, but everything else has gone down pretty darn well. So let's go out to the match. Let's have a little look at that team sheet, see who is playing for Fylde here today. Now, they've got Dobby, the house elf, of course. And yes, that's the only player that I recognise right now. They've got the house elf in Dobby. Now, we've been on a good run lately, so go out there and impress me. That's not a bad little shout. I want you to ignore recent praise, go out there and give these fans their money's worth. We're away from home, so we don't want to do that. By the way, Fylde, need to pick up your home attendance. There's about 1,500 people here, and your stadium can hold about 5,000. It's rather dismal, considering you're versing top of the league and you are in third, pushing on for second. It's pathetic, quite frankly. Anyways, just a little bit of a side ramble there. I want you to ignore recent praise, go out there and play your natural game. You know what, no, we'll go with what the assistant suggested. It's had absolutely no effect, which can be good, can be bad. Guess we didn't have a negative effect of it, but it would be nice to have a positive effect. As you can see behind one of the goals, there's just a shed. Looks like, yeah, I'm not quite sure what that's meant to be. I guess they're constructing a new stand on that end? Who knows? But it looks rather weird in game. In fact, it's the same on both ends. What is with these staircases going up to tin roofs? Interesting. Most scaffolding does not use metal staircases. I'll tell you that one for sure. It's usually a ladder in a hole. Lift up the plank, you know, but okay. If the game wants to depict a construction site to look like that, I guess it is in their licensing to do so. They have artistic license to be creative and put staircases where staircases should not be. But right now, they have a ball over the top, and it's to Mama, as I'm going to call him, over to this left-hand side, where he will find Tollit. Tollit holds in possession, whips one across, back post, Bell. Bell has acres of space, nods it down for Dobby. The shot is blocked, though, and it's gone back out to Bell. Bell tries to whip another one in, but a lovely block by Gibson forces it out for a throwing here on the 2nd minute. Nice and early attempt there from Fylde, and again they are in possession as Thompson throws it in to Dobby. Dobby back to Thompson. It's now with Romanski. Romanski gets it up to Pollock. Pollock holding up possession nicely, gets back to Romanski once more. It's now with Thompson on this left hand side. Ball up to Tulit. Tulit on possession, plays it into Horton. Horton back to Pollock. Pollock under a little bit of pressure, plays it back to Obi. Obi over to Whitmore. Whitmore on this right hand side is just going to run at us as we've gave him space. Ball up to Bell now, though. Bell has made a lovely run down this left hand side. Gibson is literally running circles around him. We need him to dispossess him, though, not run circles around him. Instead, though, Bell whipping across, it's Mampala, and James will save our bacon here on the 4th minute with a beautiful save. Chester, by the way, currently 1-0 up away to Bradford Park Avenue. But again, we have a Fylde highlight here. Dobby, ball through to Mampala. Mampala, block from fielding, lovely slide tackle. It falls to Bell. Thankfully, we get another block in there. And they have a corner. But can they do anything with the corner? So not enough having a corner, you've got to utilise it, and Horton will try and do that, whips it in, Romanski, it's nodded away though. Dobby shall collect this one. The house elf is coming back at us now, plays it up to Pollock. Pollock on the edge of the area, holding up the ball nicely, gets it over to Romanski. Romanski gets the ball across to Horton. He's found Horton in space over on this right hand side. Now Gibson, close him down please my friend. Bad pass to Bell. Donaldson will collect this, and now Heaney on the counter-attack. Go inside perhaps, find Gibson. No, he's going to find Wright. Wright made the run. Unfortunately though, that's equated to absolutely nothing. We've a 1 shot so far to their 3, none on target to their 1. We do need to pick up our shooting then. Romanski nods it away to Mampala. Mampala on the counter-attack, pulls it back for Bell here on this right-hand side. Bell now to Whitmore. Whitmore tries the ball over the top to Bell. Bell will just keep it in. That was great by Bell to keep the ball in play, but can Gibson block him? No, it's a ball across the face of goal, thankfully. It's wasted. Tulit. Absolutely terrible finishing. Not terrible finishing for Chester, though. They are currently 2-0 up. And Newton, oh, we've hit the crossbar. Newton, Manpala nodding it away, but that's the end of that one. Kirsten Ashton, 1-0 by the way. Bradford Park Avenue's pulled the goal back to make it 1-2-2. Hereford is 1-0 up in their game. And Ducksworth is now going to throw it into Donaldson. Now back to Ducksworth. O'Keefe whips one in back post. Heaney. Don't try and head it there, Heaney. Just chest it and then smash it with your right foot. That's all you needed to do. But instead, you tried an interesting header. We did win the corner though, so that's nice. Whips it in, Gibson can't get onto it. Obi will beat him to it and nod it out to Horton. Horton on the counter-attack now will run at us. Oh, Duckworth, lovely tackle, and O'Keefe will just hoof it back to Obi in their defence. Brackley, Hereford 1-1. Stockport and Telford is 1-1. We also have Kersnest 1-0 up against Blythe Spartans. Chester is still 2-1, and there are some other goals further down as well. Now Donaldson plays it over to Gilchrist. It's with right all the way back to Newton on the halfway line. Inside Fielding. Do we have any players? Yes, Dyson is struggling on a 6.3 now, and Gilchrist on a 6.5 needs to pick things up as well. Fielding on a 6.5. I think we're going to be a bit harsh on that team talk. I know we're top of the league. I know this is a game that should be close. But half our team is not performing. We need them to at least put in the effort. Right now, Kidderminster is 2-0 up against Leamington Spa, and Chorley is winning 1-0 away as well. Didn't quite catch who they were playing, but I did catch that they're 1-0 up. Now, 6 shots, 1 on target, lads. Lads, you've had 1 more shot, yet 1 less on target. What are you doing? Passing's been great, by the way, 91% passing, but we need to do more when we've got the ball. Now let's tell the lads that our shooting has not been good enough. Exactly, assistant. Can we do it with punch fists? No. Okay, can we do it with a pointing finger? Okay, our shooting has not been good enough. We really need to improve. So, Gilchrist, looking at you, don't really have a suitable replacement. I guess I could move Donaldson up and bring in DeGruchy in Donaldson's spot, or even McLaughlin could play in that central attacking midfield role. But right now, we'll just hold out. We'll see how things go. In worst case, we will put Donaldson up front. But Pollock right now will play it over to Horton. Horton pulling it back for Romanski. He tries the ball over the top. Fielding will nod it down to Heaney now. And that's our usual kick-off highlight, which equates to absolutely nothing. Gloucester, by the way, 1-0 up against Boston United. Jameson, though, here on the highlight is going to play it short to Newton. He's going to go very short to right. I don't know the point in that pass, nor do I see the point in the pass all the way back to the goalkeeper. But O'Keefe will try and hoof one up. Gilchrist nods it onto nobody, thinking that he's a central attacking midfield player, and now they have possession back with Neil. Neil trying to build from the back. Will hoof it up. Newton, though, lovely header down, gets it to Heaney, and Heaney will nod it back to Gibson. Gibson coming down this left-hand side, perhaps pull it inside to Heaney. No, inside to right, now to Heaney. Thank you. Keep it going, lads. Come on, go down this left-hand side. O'Keefe back to Newton. Come on, we need to find some space. Fielding has found space here in the centre circle, but can he use it? Short to O'Keefe. Dyson's got an overlap in Ducksworth. Now, Ducksworth, get a good cross in here, my friend. Whips it into Heaney. Heaney back post. That was too soft. Too soft, Heaney. We need a better finish than that. As you can see, 2 on target from 9. We've been rather dismal in front of goal, and we are going to start some substitutes a little bit earlier than usual. Our next game is in about a week, so we can afford to make substitutes earlier on than usual in this one. Donaldson's struggling, but I think he's going to do okay if we move him up. We are then going to bring on, how's O'Keefe and Wright doing? Right, O'Keefe's doing okay, Wright is okay. So, we'll bring McLaughlin in there. Wright is on 6.6, so maybe I can take him off. But there is definitely players struggling a lot more than him. Condition-wise, Heaney is struggling. We then have the likes of Donaldson, whose conditioning is falling as well. This is where it gets tricky, my friends. So, Dyson for... We don't have a right back. That's the problem with not having Crow. Usually I would move Duckworth up to Dyson and bring on Crow. So we can go double winger sub, bring on Knowles, but we can't do that here today. So what are we going to do? Dyson is struggling, I guess. Dyson for Knowles. Dyson for Knowles. We've moved Donaldson up. That freshens up our striking a bit. Freshens up our right wing. We then, of course, have the substitute of McLaughlin here in central attack. So this upper right-hand portion of our team should be playing a little bit better. And then I think that's... Who else can play up front? Knowles. Who else can play on this wing? Heaney could swap it over, but can we put anyone on Heaney's wing? That gets tricky. That gets really tricky. If Donaldson continues to play bad, we're going to have a bit of a dilemma. Because we're not going to be able to really swap our striker out. We'll be able to take Knowles up, but then we'll have to go playing more central. So, yeah. I think we're stuck with Donaldson for the rest of the game. Alfredson, by the way, 1-0 up against Kettering for those interested. And I believe Farsley's game is 1-1. Now, McLaughlin whips one in, back post. Donaldson, keep your head down, Donaldson, please. Clayton, you absolute legend. Please perform like it. Neil, though, will hoof it up here in the 66th minute. Ducksworth nods it down. McLaughlin gets it over to Jones. Knowles. Don't know where I keep getting Jones from. Just have Jones on the brain, apparently. But Fielding. Fielding will run back at them. Plays it short to O'Keefe. O'Keefe back to Fielding. Fielding now at the halfway line. Will play it all the way back to Newton. Newton, though, gets it up to right. We've got Gibson over on this left-hand side making a run. In fact, it's Heaney. I'm getting players mixed up. Gibson is actually on that left-hand side, but a little bit further back. Heaney, though, does waste the effort in the end. Now, Heaney, speaking of which, is a little bit tired. The question is, though, we can't really do anything about it. So, Donaldson, coming down this right-hand side. In fact, I'll see if we can find someone who can go on that right-hand side of defence. If we can find someone in the centre who can shift to the... Yes, we can. We can fix the Heaney problem. And right now, Jameson has just fixed that one-on-one problem. Let's go, Jameson. Right. Let's get this corner out of the way, let's survive it, and then we're going to make a big shuffle in defence. Watch this. Horton whips it in, Fielding nods it away. Thompson will be the one to collect it here on the 71st minute though. Short to Dobby. Dobby from range almost punishes me for the comments I've been making about his name thus far. And now we head. Right. So, hear me out. Ducksworth swaps across. Knowles goes on the left. Knowles, we're struggling to strike, so he's going to go as an inside forward on attack. We then keep Ducksworth as a winger on support. Heaney is not going to be there because Gibson is going to swap to that side. Newton is going to go out to the left-hand side, and then Brown is going to come in the middle. Yes, he's going to come in the middle, and I'm going to keep it phrased like that, because why on earth not? Now, Donaldson, absolutely shattered up front on his own, but we can't do a double sub because we've already used two of them prior to this one, so it doesn't matter. It was either him or Heaney, and, well, we don't have a striker to replace him with, so Heaney is the one going off. But right now it's Romanski. He's going to hoof it up, and Captain O'Captain, Mr. Newton himself, shall collect it here on the left-hand side. Can he get anything going on this Haley day? He plays it up. It's now with right over to Heaney. Heaney's got an overlap in McLaughlin instead, though. He goes inside and forces McLaughlin to chase it down. O'Keefe now over to Heaney. Heaney, can he get past his man here on the right-hand side? He has. Now, can he make a good cross or perhaps even a long shot? Heaney from range has just gone on his own. He should have probably crossed it in. And that is another wasted opportunity. Now we are going to demand more. This has been wasteful. This has been rather pathetic in terms of finishing. As you can see, though, they have slipped down to 4th place. Still have those 2 games in hand, but this ain't helping them. Newton from range. Saved by Neil. We, of course, will probably take a draw from this. It's an away game against one of the teams chasing us, and it stops them gaining ground on us, although, of course, it does allow the others to. gain some ground. Dobby, though, tries to get the ball. Brown nods it on instead. Right, lovely play up to Donaldson. He tries the ball through to McLaughlin. Instead, though, Obi will intercept and play it back to Neil. Neil hoofs it up, but Newton intercepts it. It's now with Knowles. Newton's made a run on this left-hand side. Right, over to O'Keefe. Now up to Donaldson. Donaldson chests it down. Short to Ducksworth. He's found Gibson. Gibson, can he whip it across here on the right-hand side now? He's going to go short to O'Keefe. Now with Ducksworth. Ducksworth whips one across face the goal. Obi gets it though, and it's cleared away. That was a beautiful opportunity to just tap it in. Give it a little taparoo. Tap, tap, tap. But, unfortunately, our striker could not get on to the end of it. O'Keefe, though, lovely through ball here to Ducksworth. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Come on, Ducky! Michael Ducksworth, thanks to O'Keefe's beautiful through ball, has just gone and got his first goal of the season here on the 80th minute against AFC Fylde. This is probably undeserved. It's probably undeserved. We've been pathetic in front of goal. Look at that, tightest of angles. We've had so many better opportunities, yet Ducksworth has just gone and put us in the lead with that one. And as you can see, our lead has grown at the top of the league. They are now 18 points behind us. Yes, 2 games in hand, but 18 points behind. Kidderminster is a solid 13 behind. Whitmore, though, for them, will clear it away, and it's Fielding. He will get it on the halfway line. We've got 4 minutes of additional time to hold on. He goes short to O'Keefe. It's now with Brown. Brown over to Newton. Newton holding up possession nicely, gets it up to Josh Knowles. Josh Knowles now inside to right, holds up possession, plays it over to Newton. Newton on this byline, gets back inside to right. Right now tries a cross-field ball. He gets it over to Gibson. Gibson's got Duckworth in front. He finds Duckworth. Now, will Duckworth pull it back? He does. Pulls it back for Gibson. 1-2 with Duckworth. He's got another supporting player in O'Keefe if he wishes. Gibson will find him. He goes short to McLaughlin. Now back to O'Keefe. Back to McLaughlin once more. Now to Ducksworth. Lovely triangles. He's found Gibson on this right-hand side. Now Gibson whipping across. Back post. Knowles cannot get onto it. The cross was a bit too long. He's going to play it short to Newton though. Newton into Donaldson, who kicks it straight at Neil. It was pretty beautiful until the finish. I think the finish was a bit dismal. Shot straight at the goalkeeper, but Brown here plays it to McLaughlin, and it's gone flying over the bar. 1 minute remains in this one. Newton nods it down for Brown. Brown gives it away though. It's with Burke. Pollock over to Philly. I'm not going to try his name. Phil. Newton back to Jameson. Tries to get it up to Knowles. It's now down for Mampala. It's with Bell 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. Please. Thank you, assistant ref. He's offside. We've just been saved by the linesman from a goal equaliser within the last 10 seconds. Thank you so much for being offside. Fielding, though. And that's is a victory, ladies and gents. We did not finish well in this one. We were abysmal, but they were worse. We had 5 on target. They had 3 in the end. Admittedly, theirs was 3 out of 8 and ours was 5 out of 17, but 91% passing and a 58% possession is pretty darn solid. But the real question is, where are we going in the next one? Well, we're here in the schedule screen where we of course can see our remaining fixtures, besides any additional cup games of course from the FA Trophy. Now, speaking of the FA Trophy, that is where we'll be going next if we make it past Woking. Yes, Woking, it's a big game. We are, of course, versing our former player in Woods. And then we've got a big game against Kidderminster, who, of course, are second in the league. But I'd like to make a little bit of forward progression in the season. So we're either going to come back for the FA Trophy 5th round if we make it past Woking, or we shall be returning for a game against Blythe Spartans before then probably playing Chorley in the one after. But I thank you all for joining us. I hope you all have a lovely night and goodbye.